Yeah.
Oh, do we?
Wait, so what were we even talking about? What did that guy do again? He went on Ashley Madison and had too many
Yeah.
kids.
So what happened? Ashley Madison got hacked, and the hackers said either shut down your site and stop supporting extramarital affairs.
Isn't that the fucking worst? Like moralist hackers. Aren't you tired of that shit? Like I don't personally need to use Ashley Madison, but I don't actually care that it exists. If there wants to be an outlet where people who are so fucking useless in their marriages they can't communicate their sexual desires to their partner have an outlet for that, and they want to reach out for that, and they have some vicinity to do that, do we really need hackers like being all moral about this and rubbing their face in it? Fuck you. Like back off. Like
yeah. It also is a piece of shit service though. Like to facilitate the ruining of
At the
lives.
same time, I'd rather they do that than spend their time hacking things I care about and use services.
Here's the problem. And this works with everything. If you say, it's okay to go after Ashley Madison because I don't agree with them morally, then all of a sudden, next time, maybe they're going after something like Reddit. And then there's a whole other group of people who say, like, Reddit, isn't that site where they hate on women and fat people? Fuck it. Let them burn that site down. And you've got to speak up for rights. And I agree with you. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the service. I feel like it's a really dirty kind of skeevy thing. And most
have an affair.
I feel like most people are using it to like get around their partner's back. Now, if it were a case of people using it, if it were like in their commercial, even it's like it goes like this. It's like the husband finds the wife's account on her iPad. He said, He says, "What's this?" And basically, they have this conversation where she says, "We've got all these reasons to stay together, but I don't have those feelings for you anymore. Maybe you should make an account." And he's like, maybe I will. And that's how they advertise. And in that scenario, I don't care.
With a lie, though, right? Like,
what the hell kind of fairy tale
account,
use of that product is that?
I guess I'm kind of I would have to come down on the side of anything that gives options to consenting adults who have any fucking sexual need they want that they can be found with other consenting adults. I'm kind of for. So like I can't be against that site just in of itself. Yeah, you can have some shitty circumstances where one partner doesn't know about it and the other one does, and that's a bit of a problem, right? But that's a problem inside the relationship.
I feel like that's the common use case, though.
That's the most common use. This is so the way they sell it is it's a marriage or it's an open marriage where one person they can do this type of thing. That's so the minority, though.
It's like plausible deniability, so they can say,
their
"Oh,
tagline
that's what
is
this is
literally
supposed to be
life
for."
is short, have an affair." That's their tagline. I don't care what the commercial is. That's their tagline.
I don't care.
What does an affair mean?
Their tagline was "Life is short, like cheat on your wife."
No, seriously, what does an affair mean? Like, are we talking of an external from your relationship?
To
your
me,
primary relationship?
affair means that it's not like
it's not consensual.
Your spouse doesn't.
Is a sexual relationship, romantic friendship, or passionate attachment between two people without the other spouse knowing? Cheating.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. So, and I don't like Ashley Madison because I feel like, there are two roads you can take, right? One's kind of hardish where you need to open up to your partner and tell her what you're looking for and etc. And the other's kind of easiest where you go on Ashley Madison and you find some stranger. And they make that easy route even easier. And you shouldn't just grease the slides towards ruining lives.
Sure.
And that's what they do.
I think we all think it's a dirty thing. But the question is...
I don't know that the burden comes down on Ashley Madison, though, right? They found some niche where they make some money off this, and they find some people willing to do this. And I don't know that we can step back and say the site shouldn't facilitate that.
How far can you take that? Can you start a cult and be like, "Hey, I've got a cult here, and I brainwash people, and I come them in, I get them in, they think I'm a god, they give me all their money, and but it's." Dude, it was their
consenting
choice.
To that.
Yeah, they consented to that.
That's legal.
That would be the next level.
Cults, I'm pretty sure that you can do that. I don't think that
I'm
cults
not saying it's illegal.
I don't think the government shuts you down just because you start a cult.
Okay,
right?
what about...
They trust you enough as an
I'm making a
individual
right
to go,
and wrong.
I shouldn't fucking be there in this cult because this is a waste of my time.
I'm making a right versus wrong argument here. And the cult, illegal or not, I'm not sure, but it's certainly immoral. And Ashley Madison, certainly immoral. They're providing a service that ruins lives.
That's an opinion.
And I don't think you should. I
You're
don't
in
think
luck.
you should be legislating.
I know what's moral
morality.
or not. We're not talking about legislation.
Yes, you know what's moral for you and what's and I don't.
I don't know who's arguing
morality.
that we need legislation against Ashley Madison. We were arguing whether or not Ashley Madison was good or bad, right? You were arguing whether or not these hackers were doing a good or bad service. I think you can't say it's good or bad
in general. I think you can say good or bad based on the circumstances, good or bad. And for me, for my personal morality, that comes down to consensuality, right? So when it is the girl or the guy going behind the other person's back and fucking their relationship, that sucks. That's really bad. For my morality, that'd be negative. Yeah. But if you look at it, this is a site to facilitate sexual encounters between a consenting adults. I don't give a fuck what their relationship is. If they're in a relationship and they go, we're husband and wife, and we want an external outlet for sexuality, more power to them.
Well,
I don't think
it shouldn't be illegal, but the reason that we're having a problem with it is because it's not espousing to just be a way for consenting adults to hook up with each other. Because if that was their business model, they would do that. There's already hundreds of sites like that. They're preying on people who are in this situation, trying to exploit the bad feelings that they're having about their current relationship. So it shouldn't be illegal. Their information shouldn't have been spilled out there, but it is a kind of a piece of shit service as far as ruining lives.
Well, see, what's the difference between using Ashley Madison and using Tinder, which is just a hookup app? It's because there's anonymity and skeeviness with using Ashley Madison because they propagate that.
Yeah, it's because you don't want the other person to know.
Filthy's arguing against points that nobody's making. He's saying, I don't think it should be legislated. Yeah, no one here said that. And, you're like, well, I think that if there's consenting adults in a marriage and they want to do this, then they should be able to. Yeah, everyone knows that. But the point is, Ashley Madison is marketing and actively going after people who are thinking about whether or not they should make a terrible mistake and ruin a family. And
these people are on the fence about
pushing them off the edge, pushing them over the edge
by
greasing the slides. I get
pushed off the edge by advertising or by people suggesting this.
You're not on the edge. That's why. But it puts you in a marriage that's whatever so many years in.
If I want to cheat on my girlfriend, I don't need a site to go do that, right? Well, and the fact that I have a site that makes it easier doesn't do anything except for the fact that I've already made the decision in my mind and now I have an outlet for that. And I don't think you should legislate or hack, which is the initial topic of the conversation, right?
Well, that's like saying I don't need
to hack that point for that because
I don't need to buy toe clamps. Bad example, a MacBook Pro and this, but because it's so easy and I get 2-day free shipping on Amazon Prime, I spend a lot more money. That's Amazon's business model, is because it's so easy and quick that you buy shit you don't need.
Yeah, and then they'll advertise right on the porn sites to catch you when you're in that most vulnerable state, right? So here you are, you're this guy, you're unsatisfied in your marriage, you're jerking off, and then Ashley Madison says, "Why are you jerking off? You could be fucking these girls." That's their marketing strategy.
That doesn't sound evil to me. That just sounds like they know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, they do.
I think that you're particularly sensitive to this one because, but I don't think it's any different than any of the millions of other companies that do the exact same thing. You don't think Gatorade wants to appeal to you when you're thirsty?
Right, that's true. Countless marriages lost.
They're facilitating a process. True. But I don't think that makes them evil. They can facilitate the process as much as they want, and up until it becomes a legality thing. I got nothing against Ashley Madison, even though I think that doing that is wrong. But it's not. It's not for me to judge them.
That's right. It's your personal morality. You make your decisions, and fuck it. We don't need to. Need to legislate or hack the site because of that.
Hypothetically, I went next level.
Nobody's saying that the site should have been hacked.
We're not talking about that. Let's say that I ran a site that taught you to murder your rival. Right? Okay. Here it is. You might not know anything about being an assassin right now, but I'm going to coach you on this thing. Use a knife because it's so much easier you just wipe your fingerprints. There's no things on every cartridge, whatever. Like, I don't even know how to assassinate someone very well, but let's say that I take you through the process of killing someone and not get caught, right?
Okay.
You just facilitated, someone's a criminal act.
Yeah. It's a revenge-based, here's how to murder someone that you don't really like thing. I don't think you could say, that site's fine, really. I don't feel pushed over by the edge on this. No.
Seriously?
I am greasing the slides towards helping you commit murder.
I don't think that's a fair
comparison. Come down on the other side.
So I got no problem with that website. Those websites exist.
Yeah, exactly, they exist. So there's sites for like committing suicide or other things like this, right? There's stuff out there to facilitate shit that I would be very much personally against. And my personal morality would say, don't fucking touch that shit. But I don't think we should be cracking down on sites like that. I think that oversteps our boundary.
Now you're back on the legislation thing. No one's talking about that.
When he says cracking down, I think he means just saying they're evil and wrong. I think
nobody is saying that this should have been hacked, and nobody's saying that it should be legislated. We're talking about the morality of the company facilitating and tempting people into something that can potentially ruin the lives of themselves, their partner, and potentially children.
If you're against that morally, you go, well, there should be repercussions for that.
Bullshit.
And my whole point is that I'm not against this morally. I think that this would personally be what I wouldn't want to do, but I don't see any reason to be enforcing my morality in other people, and I don't think we need to be worried about these sites for that.
Yeah, no one's talking about enforcing
nobody's
it, and
talking
you keep
about
going
forcing
back
morality.
to it, and it almost seems like a not fair debate tactic. You know, you just straw man. You're constantly on this, I'm against laws that say this, or I'm against hackers being active. We all are against that, so that's not an issue. But
perhaps it's the whiskey, and I have been drinking a little bit of whiskey having this conversation. But I guess I'm missing then the point you're making for this. I felt like you were saying you're against these, but you're not. What are you saying?
I'm against it, but that doesn't mean that I want to enforce repercussions on people who do it. I'm just saying I think less of these people. You know, I think less of companies like Ashley Madison. Am I glad they're? I feel like I can root for it without.
Here's what. Okay, if you were making
a
decision on whether the stuff was released or not, do you think it should have been released?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it should have been.
We're all in agreement here. I don't know why we're doing this circle jerk. We all agree it's morally wrong.
But
obviously legally illegal.
I want to say this about the suicide thing. Like,
okay.
I if I had a site that taught you how to commit suicide, right? That like helped you increase your odds of success on this. This is your painful way to just end your life. And then I started marketing it towards where you find people that are low at the time, right? Maybe on Tumblr where they're on their like support group, you know, whatever. And then I just start infiltrating support groups with pro suicide. Here's how to do it quick and easy, successfully. That'd be a pretty bad thing to do.
I don't know.
I'm with Kyle on this. That's the point I have too. Like,
I think you're very, very anti-suicide, and I mean, if you want to kill yourself, kill yourself. Like it's your life to live or not live.
That's the point I hold too. That comes dear to me, right? Like, this is my life, and I will do with
I don't like anyone telling me what I can do in any fucking scenario as long as it's not affecting someone else. Just stay out of business.
I hear where you're coming from, and
I want to cheat on my wife and then kill myself. With the same website, goddamn.
What would that be called? It wouldn't be called Ashley Madison. What would it be called? What would be the name?
Fuck and fuck it.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? And right, you look at that and you go like, holy fuck, this website's bad news. But I don't think we should be doing it. But there's like some fucking shitards are going to be using that website.
There's an aspect of me that is like counseling by nature, right? That's wired to help and be kind. And that guy says, you know what? From time to time, we all get a little sad. I don't think you're making the right decision, and I bet that you'll come back and look at this later and agree that I was right.
But are you thinking then that Ashley Madison's advertisement then is pushing past like recruiting people who are already there and are instead looking to convert people who aren't there to this? Is that where you're? Of
course they are. That's what advertising is.
Right.
Nah, I bet. I wish there were a survey that was something like, you know, have you cheated prior to signing up for your Ashley Madison account? I'd like to know that, because I bet like 70% of the dudes who signed up for these accounts, and women, I bet I'd love to see the demographics on that. I bet they're public now. But I bet a lot of these people were cheating before.
Cheated or considering. I bet you if you add that component into it, because I don't think you go to especially the way that Ashley Madison is marketed, I don't think you go there if you weren't considering that already, right? It's not like a surprise. You didn't stumble across it, go, oh shit. Oh, wow, this is really interesting. I bet this really applies to me. You start with the fucking process.
I disagree there. What if you're working 60 hours a week in an unfulfilled marriage? You just don't have time to go out to bars to start an affair traditionally. So you see that ad and you're just inquisitive. You look in there, see what it is, and then it does facilitate you doing that. Not saying that it's, you know, different situations are different. We've already established that, but I do think that definitely happens. That's why it's an online service.
For $19, they had a full deletion package where they would completely delete your account and all your records. And they will take your $19, but they won't fully delete your records.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
Really?
It's all out there. Yeah.
They don't delete your records. They just make them invisible to the users. They keep all your shit.
It's fucked up. That's like they're saving them for blackmail later.
The hackers,
exactly.
No one else can fuck you, but we can. You know?
That's the only reason to do it.
The hackers said that something like 96% of the people on the site were men.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
If a woman wants to cheat, she just goes out and
she
is at a bar for 15
easy
minutes.
for a woman to cheat.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense of it for me.
Here's why. You probably think, yeah, women are more desirable. It's easier for a woman to get laid. That's probably what you thought, but that's not all there is. There's more to it than that. Men are more likely to be like, fuck it, I don't care, and sleep with a married woman than a woman would be to be like, fuck it, I don't care, and sleep with a married man. It's much more difficult for the married man to go out and have an affair. Ashley Madison was providing a wonderful service to over almost 40 million men, and
40 million.
40 million?
Wasn't it like, was it 28 million or 38 million accounts they leaked? It was something.
I need that as a proportion. What's the population? What's the number of men in the U.S. right now? Do we know?
Something like 160 million.
Yeah. Jesus, seriously, it was 40 million men and 160 million men in the U.S. 1 in 4.
I'm sure it's not just a U.S. service.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very popular site.
I guess.
Yeah, it's probably better than Tinder, huh? Like, I feel like,
dude,
DTF.
I obviously I didn't date in the Tinder era.
Yeah, 3 kids. They don't care.
I didn't either.
Tinder seems like really neat.
Sounds really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, just that swipe left, swipe right thing. Like, you can seriously just approve and disapprove like a dozen. How many choices are there when you have, like, if I were to just fire up Tinder, if hypothetical 20-year-old college student me was just to pop on Tinder, is it location based? Is that how?
Yeah,
that
it's location based. So if you were on a college campus, but you are you'd be a young male, so there would be such a preponderance of your demographic, you probably wouldn't get much attention. I don't know if Kyle's ever done it, but I have friends who have used it, and they say it's just, for the most part, a sausage fest, and the girls they have met from it are mainly gross.
Scott runs that shit. And gets so much pussy, it's outrageous. He used to use Plenty of Fish. We travel from city to city, and it seemed like when we go to a major city, there was usually a girl there that would like to meet me for some reason or another. And so I never really had a problem finding ladies if we were traveling around. And we traveled a lot to all the major cities, driving around road trips. But Scott, didn't really have a million people on his Facebook or anything, so it was a little more difficult for him. So he'd hop on Plenty of Fish, and I'd watch him. He'd be over there fishing. He'd do it fast, and he's like copy pasting the same lines, just boom, 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 picture, boom, 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 hitting like dozens of women as we're getting close to the town. He's looking 150 miles into our future, and he's hitting on those women. He's looking forward to tonight. And
I don't know whether to be extremely impressed or a little disgusted or both, because I mean, like, in some sense, the dating game is that, right? It's a numbers game. You meet the fucking people, and sooner or later you meet someone you're compatible with. They like you, you like them. Fair enough. You can do that electronically and do that 10 or 100 times more efficiently. Should we judge?
At least,
at some level, I think not.
I guess if you, I don't know. He get to control everything about it. It seemed really impressive to me to watch him operate Plenty of Fish, and he'd be fishing, and he'd often like reel one in that night. Like, he'd have some at the hotel or
provided
something.
There's no deception. I think this is just pure wonderfulness.
Yeah, no deception.
Yeah, right.
It seemed like there wasn't a lot of catfishing going on last time he was talking about Tinder.
What is catfishing?
When someone goes in there and pretends to be a hot chick just to like fuck with you or be lame and, like, I don't know, jerk off to like pictures of you, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
And some people catfish for their own sexual pleasure. People catfish just for shits and giggles. All the above. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, I've seen him be incredibly effective with Tinder over the last year or so.
Loomis was good at it.